Rafa Nadal has retired today. Incredible career. I watched his closing ceremony 3 times and just teared up every single time. More and more, actually, as I noticed more things. You know, when they had the tribute video and Roger Federer had mentioned that his favorite memory was when Nadal just pipped him in the 2008 Wimbledon final when they went 5 sets and it got dark. You could see that's when Rafa actually teared up the most and got really emotional. And Rafa, I mean, the stats are incredible. I'll just read some out for you. I got this from Tennis Channel's Insta page, but 92 career titles, 209 weeks at number one, 22 Grand Slam titles, second all time in men's history, only to Djokovic. Now this next one boggles the mind. 14 Roland Garros titles. Not sure if that accent was accurate there, but that's 14 French Open Grand Slam titles. That is unbelievable, unreal, unmatched, unparalleled, incredible. The only tennis player in the history to have won the same major more than 11 times. And Rafa did it 14 times. I honestly thought that the number, if you asked me, I would have said, 8 or 9. Incredible. 36 Masters 1000 titles, 2 Olympic gold medals. Rafa was the youngest of the big three to reach number one at 22 years old. He is also the youngest man to complete a career Golden Slam at 24. And not too shabby, $135 million in career prize money earnings. I'd imagine first would probably be Djokovic or Federer, but these stats are amazing. And despite these stats, that's not what I'm going to remember Rafa for. It's for the inspiration, the motivation, the hunger, the will to win that really makes Rafa Rafa. The trademark fist pump, those huge biceps of his, just punching the air. And that is the fighting spirit. That's the fighting spirit that we all need. We need it when we are facing an opponent that we think is not beatable. We need it when we are entering a tie break to decide the match. We need it when we're not feeling our best on the court and we still, want to get that victory. It's the intensity. Whenever I think of these traits, the first player I think of is Rafa. Is no one else. Maybe if you think of return technique or something, I'll think of Agassi or Djokovic. If I think of, footwork, like floating on the court, moving gracefully, I'll think of Federer. But funny enough, when I think of the most important traits that you need to be a successful tennis player, it's not going to be the technique. Sure, that will raise your ceiling, your potential, level. Sure, strategy is very important as well. Of course, tennis is a game of chess and you want to figure out what works. But ultimately, when you get to those crunch time moments, it's going to be the tenacity, intensity, the focus, the willpower that's going to get you over the line. You're going to be very evenly matched against opponents. And, I felt this weekend. A couple matches, lost them in third set tiebreakers. And, there were certain things that could have won the match and they were pretty much mental related, and also the mental game leaks into the strategy. If you're not fully aware and set and focused with your mindset, then you can't think clearly enough and then you can't formulate strategy and then you're not going to play well. So, man, so many great memories of Rafa. One thing too is of the legends of the game, I empathize, I don't know if that's the right word, but I most feel connected to Rafa's game. He hits with heavy topspin. I hit with heavy topspin on my forehand, especially. He gets to every ball. He runs hard. He makes shots that you wouldn't think he would make. He grinds out points. He loves the clay. These are things that I also feel as well. And so I just feel really, really connected to Rafa and to the great lessons that he's afforded all of us. And yeah, just watching the tribute video. Also, I just loved how he talked so much about his family. They were all tearing up, of course, and he said that he tried to keep his team as intact for as long as possible. You see a lot of other players, I don't want to name any of them, who are just switching coaches and coaching teams. They're having like 2-3 coaches a year, different ones. And what Rafa said is he tries to keep these teams as long as possible so that he can forge strong relationships that go beyond tennis. And, that comes back and gives you confidence and gives you, it's like, love in your heart, that you have the backing of your team and they know you inside out, and that makes a big difference, So, he also talked about how he ultimately wants to be remembered. And this is why, again, another trait why I love Rafa, his humility, his grace, is just how humble he is. He's always saying, my opponent's, great player, and he doesn't give excuses. And, he is just the embodiment of what you want your children to be like, what you should be like on the court. And I just honestly can't thank him enough for everything he's done to impact the sport. He's inspired so many people. And I remember, watching so many matches with my family and friends of Rafa's. I remember I was on vacation in Orlando with my parents, and I was watching Rafa play Djokovic in the final. I can't remember if it was 2018 or 19 or something, but I remember Rafa winning and just thinking, man, this guy is a legend. I want to go out on the clay and just hit those buggy whips, those hugely spinny forehands. And Rafa's the greatest. Yeah, of course, you go with numbers and then you can argue he's not. But in terms of the most important qualities, I think he's amazing. And what I'll take from him is whenever I'm going into a match, I'm going to have the mindset of, I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to be as intense as possible. I'm going to play every point like it's my last point, and give it everything. I've tried to be very consistent and work on my craft. And, one thing that struck me too, among many things that Rafa said, is that he just wants to be remembered as a kid from a small town in Spain, Mallorca, who, followed his dreams and worked hard all the time, every day to do what he could and do the best that he could. And that's how he wants to be remembered. And again, that just shows his humility. He's not saying, I want to be remembered as the greatest player ever or anything like that. He just wants to show that, we simplify things down and just say the most important core principles of what made him great. It comes from a small town. Oh, and another thing is how this humility. He says that, he felt like he got very lucky, that he had a uncle for a tennis coach. And, another lesson there is to try to surround yourself with the best people you can in whatever you're trying to achieve, whether that's trying to be, a great player, find yourself a great coach, a great physio who you can rely upon, maybe a mental game coach, and support system, friends, things like that. So, yeah, what else can I say? Rafa, love you, man. No, you probably won't listen to this, but I think you can just feel the vibes in the universe from everyone talking about how great he is. And he'll keep inspiring people for generations to come. That's what Djokovic said in his speech, said that, his character and willpower and strength and power, but mainly the mental game will be studied for generations to come. And definitely makes me want to, read up, even more, all that I can on Rafa. So Rafa, thank you. We will, still enjoy your amazing tennis matches, and rewatch them, and wish you all the best in the future. And I hope to go to Mallorca someday to check out the academy, and hope that Rafa just stays in the sport for his entire life. And, maybe we can see some more fun Roger Federer, Rafa Nadal collabs, and then maybe when Grandpa Djokovic retires and they can, all three of them can do some fun stuff. Maybe they'll have enough time to come on the podcast. Who knows? But yeah, that's about it. I just felt like was proper to put out something to honor Rafa as I could. And I really appreciate, all the great character traits. And I just want you all, next time you go on the court to just think about, what would Rafa do? WWRD. Yes. And I think if you can answer those questions, you'll do great. So thank you, Rafa. If you like this video, please do me a favor and hit the like button and subscribe and leave a review if you'd like. And with that, thank you so much, Rafa. Thank you for listening as well. And keep improving your tennis game. Vamos, Rafa.